Hey there, Snicker Snacks. Welcome back to Vorpal Tales Presents Awesome Adventures. As always, I'm your host. I discovered Creole mustard tonight, and my life is forever changed. Space Lord Pajamas. Let's introduce our intrepid adventurers. We have fresh faces tonight. Tiffany, JT, Jane, and Harry. John is not with us for a few nights as he's currently juggling children. And so how you doing, Awesome Sauces? Tell us who you are and what you'll be playing tonight.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Tiffany, also known as Pinky, and tonight I'll be playing the really, really cool person that I created last time, which I am still developing their personality, but all I know is that they had a happy childhood. Hey.
Cool.
Hi, everyone. I'm JT. On the web is Zensomancer, and I will be playing a Reverend Custodier named Agatha Stone.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jane, also known as the Confused Crow. I'll be playing Momoko Sugawara. Fish out of water, let's just say.
Hello, I'm Harry. I will be playing Cassian Copperhead, a wannabe, smooth-operating bad boy who has failed more times at his job than he hasn't.
Awesome. So at the top of the show here, I just want to remind everyone that, goddammit, it's only the start of 2021, and we're still in a moment of history. A deadly virus is making everyone's life miserable. Massive campaigns of disinformation are threatening the very fabric of our democracy. In the middle of all this, minority communities are still fighting for the right to exist equally in our society. It should not be that way, as freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Just be excellent to each other and wear a mask. This will all be over a lot quicker if everyone just wears a mask. Here at Vorpal Tales, we're being the best allies we can be and encourage others to do the same. Find ways to get involved and better your community. So for those of you following along at home, tonight's awesome adventure is Modiphius Entertainment's Corvus Belli, Infinity, Inner Worlds, Outer Demons. This episode is brought to you by Large Marge's Donut Barn, where a dozen equals 14. Also, Wales Whiskey, made in Finland with real synthetic whales. Take home a case to lighten up your New Year's. Thanks to Modiphius Entertainment for publishing some really awesome systems that allow for fantastic adventures. As always, we're using Astral Tabletop, the delicious awesome sauce of online gaming tools, allowing friends to digitally roll some bones together. And thank you to Innate Mid for, again, making some really awesome character sheets that make playing this game online so much easier. Slide into our DMs about how you can get access to these really awesome sheets for all your Astral games. Thank you to Love Your Rebellion, a nonprofit group that empowers marginalized groups through the arts. Be sure to check out their website, loveyourrebellion.org, for info on their Patreon, zine, and upcoming events. Where'd my water go? Oh, it's over here. You can always find us role-playing, live tweeting, updating, and recapping on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch at Vorpal Tales. Most importantly, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Vorpal Tales. We appreciate all your love and support. That's patreon.com/Vorpal Tales. So, with the introduction out of the way, we can get to why everyone's here. Hey, everyone, what's your favorite sci-fi series? Tiffany?
The Invisible Man.
Wait, like the old 90s TV show?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was a really good show. I'm not sure if it was.
Like, honestly, it was like actually my first TV introduction to sci-fi.
Really? Wow. Okay. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, the Sci-Fi Channel had some really cool shows on in like the aughts and the early 90s or the late 90s. And The Invisible Man was one where the Invisible Man worked for a secret government agency sort of thing. Mm-hmm. It was cool. You had to be there, but yeah.
Yeah, like he had like a little tattoo of like a snake or something on his wrist.
That's right.
And it had like a timer of like how many times or how long he could be invisible. And if he went too long, his like eyes got all black and he like went kind of fucking crazy. It was great.
Yeah, that was cool. All right, yeah, wow, blast from the past. That's kind of awesome. TJ, or god damn it, JT. Fuck, I said your name 1,000 fucking times today. All right, JT, So
I have to go with the animated Clone Wars series. I have
wow.
not seen the newest season, but I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I want to say Mandalorian, but I haven't seen season 2 yet, so I'm not going to go with that.
Fair enough. It's really good, by the way, and I haven't seen Clone Wars at all. The only thing I saw was the original movie and was just like, oh, okay. But apparently it turned out to be totally awesome, so I need to go back and...
It is slow to start. It's several seasons slow to start, but it gets real good.
It's it reminds me of those, like, people are always like, oh, hey, yeah, no, just watch it till the 3rd season, then it gets good, of, you know, like the 5-season series. But yeah. Yeah, Clone Wars was, I need to get into that. But so it's supposedly awesome. Is it? How awesome is it? On a scale of like, yeah.
On a scale of scales, it's very scaly.
I dig it. Jane, what's your favorite?
I also really like the Clone Wars, the animated series, and I have seen the 7th season, so I can say that it is really good.
So that's your favorite, Clone Wars?
Yeah, I'm more of a fantasy homebody. I guess other than that, Warhammer 40k, but that's thanks to Harry.
What?
Wow.
I've succeeded!
Oh
my
man.
goodness.
Harry, what's yours?
Favorite, like, series is probably the X-Files. Favorite fantasy universe, I am a Warhammer sucker. I love it and hate it at the same time, like every Warhammer fan.
Yeah, you know, X-Files, when conspiracy theories were fun.
Yeah, back when conspiracy theories weren't tearing apart the world.
Yeah, I was... That was my Friday night, was X-Files. Yeah. Cool. All right, awesome. Those are all really good choices. And we all apparently need to watch Clone Wars, so...
It is a great show. Like, I was skeptical, because I'd
I'm
only seen it
making
when I was
Harry
way
watch
younger.
it.
It is legitimately very good. It deals with, like, some very adult themes very well. I really think it's quite good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
people are getting murdered left and right.
Killing people doesn't make it adult, but it has a lot of really excellent... It's excellent. It really is.
Cool. Yeah, did anybody watch Rebels? I watched a little bit of Rebels. That's another one I need to catch up on.
I saw a bit and then stopped.
Oh god, Rebels just stayed
Yeah,
horrible. The
Eh,
Gandalf, the
Rebels.
white Ahsoka.
I love Rebels. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings also goes on my favorite. Oh wait, that's not sci-fi. What am I doing? It's one of my favorite series, but it's not at all sci-fi.
Nice. All right, cool. So tonight we begin our awesome adventure with Modiphius Entertainment's Corvius Belli Infinity. And before we get started, I wanted to cover some concepts of the mechanics first. So difficulty. If you're trying to accomplish something in the game, there's a difficulty of 1 to 5, which determines how many successes you need in order to accomplish that task at any given difficulty. The player rolls 2d20. For each die that rolls equal to or less than the test's target number, the character scores a success. Each die that rolls equal to or less than the character's focus in the skill used for the test generates an additional success. So those should you should have 2 numbers in your sheet, I think. Maybe possible. All of this luckily is probably built into the sheet that you're using, so you should be good. So you should just be able to click the skill and it should roll it the way that it's supposed to roll. If it doesn't, let me know and we'll need to do some changes to the sheet. Cool. If the character scores a number of successes equal to or higher than the difficulty to the test, then they succeed at the task. Player characters have access to a special type of resource called Infinity Points. Infinity Points allow the player characters to persevere in the face of overwhelming odds, achieve spectacular goals, and perform impressive feats. This reflects the fact that the player characters have drive, ambition, and determination above and beyond most people, and can succeed where others might fail. Whether or not they are viewed as heroes, the player characters are destined for greatness. The more typical way for more successes is up to Lady Luck herself. Momentum is success building on success. As player characters generate enough extra successes on their skill tests, those successes become momentum, which can be spent to improve the quality of the current task or saved to improve their odds for the next task. The GM has their own momentum called heat, which can be used to make tasks more difficult. In some cases, a player will want the benefits of momentum but won't have any to spend. When that happens, they can choose to pay heat instead. Heat works exactly like momentum, and it can be combined with normal momentum spends, but when player characters use heat, it is paid to the GM's heat pool. There is a limit to how much trouble you can bring down on your own head. Player characters can voluntarily pay no more than 6 heat on their turn during the action scene, or per action in other scenes. This limit does not apply to heat generated as a result of rolling complications. There is no limit to how much heat a GM can choose to spend. There are 4 different methods of attacking a target. There's Psy-War, Info-War, Melee, and Ranged. As a standard action, an attacker declares the type of attack they are making, the method they're using to make that attack, what weapon, technique, form of software, etc., and nominates a single target within the range of the attack. The target has the option of performing a defense reaction, in which case the attack is resolved as a face-to-face test using the skills shown on the attack table. If the target does not perform a defense reaction, the attacker makes an average D1 test with the skill required for that type of attack. Those are the basics. We'll get into some deeper things as we go along and as the situation presents themselves. We'll work our way up to some more complex systems later, but for now we'll try to keep it simple and just kind of build on what we know. Any questions, comments, nasty remarks? Yeah, cool. All right, so our story begins. Agents, what do you do? Or more specifically, tell us how you fleshed out your characters and where you ended up after our creation session the other week. Jane, you're at the top of my screen, and you're also the newest, so why don't you tell us a bit about your character and their relationship to the others?
Okay, Momoko was born on Mars to a middle-class Japanese family. Her parents were involved in some white-collar Yakuza business and thus were incarcerated. Her aunt and uncle raised her and set her up with a drive for focus on education and athletics, but unfortunately the latter ended rather abruptly with a torn ACL incident. But she still had academics, so she was able to pursue a career in the sciences and now works on Venus, developing research for biology and pharmaceuticals. In terms of her relationships with the other characters, Sid and Momoko were involved in an orbital. I am struggling with this word.
Orbital.
Yes, thank you. Accident, and they helped each other survive. JT, pardon, who's your character again? Agatha?
Agatha.
Alf said we should meet, and that's all I have for my role. John's not here. Cassian screwed up horribly on a job, and thus Momoko got blinded.
That's pretty typical of Cassian screwing up on
Yeah. For those who follow me on my social medias, I posted a design of what Momoko looks like, and she wears a little vision visor to enhance her eyesight.
Oh, cool. Wait, did you actually roll that you got blinded when you were making your character?
No, I just thought
Oh.
that would be a good way to add some more spite between Momoko and Cassian, since the dialogue for the one that I rolled is, they screwed up, you got hurt, you don't trust them.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Cool. Is that everything?
Yeah, I think so. I have no fighting capability, so.
All right, this should be interesting then. Tiffany, tell us about your character and your relationships.
So I am honestly legitimately concerned for my character because not only did I apparently get into an orbital crash with Jane's character, but with John's character, we were in a small orbital that had a contagion. There you go. That was in there, in the orbital, and they got trapped and people got sick, and kind of like The Last of Us, but in space. Except people didn't become evil, like not evil, but become like flesh eating zombies. But lots of spores, so yeah. And with JT, Alf also recommended that the two of us meet. My character Sid was like, "Hey, Agatha, we should be friends because so and so said so." Why? Because the AI said we. Why? You're gonna listen to an AI your whole life? Fascist. But Elf said we should be friends. Let's be friends. Can we be friends? No. Okay. Hey, Agatha, what are you doing next week? No. Hey, do you want to have lunch? No. Well, maybe no. Okay. So yeah. And then Harry and I were able to figure out our families were like bitter rivals or enemies in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Harry and I were able to figure out that our characters' family were like enemies, and due to my family's business, like it's kind of like a tradition of everyone going through like the Sword of Allah like military group within the Hakazlam, and Harry's character doing kind of like not so legal things on the side that they would frequently bump heads. So that's why our characters' families were enemies. So we don't quite like have that same history, but I'm assuming that our characters are still aware of it. So we know of each other, but we don't know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I'm curious to see how it's going to work out. But yeah, my character is desperate to be friends with Agatha because the AI told her to, and Agatha wants nothing to do with it. But it's like, okay.
Wow.
Or at least that's
Okay.
just how, like, I interpreted what JT and I were had discussed, because I think it'd be an interesting dynamic. Anyway.
Reverend agents hate Elf, so it's real suspect that Elf told us to meet.
Yeah, that would be pretty. Ooh, wow. Yeah. Conspiratorially. Cool. Tiffany, that's everything?
Yes.
All right. Cool. GT.
All right, so Agatha Stone is a Reverend Custodier, basically a combat hacker. She was born into an upper-class family on the nomad ship, the Bakunin. She didn't really understand what her parents did. It was tutored a lot and sort of had a nanny while her parents worked a lot. So she had an eye for the technical and was kind of a wonderkind hacker at a very young age. And at some point she stepped out of line trying to help one of her friends change his grades, and sort of got arrested. She was real young at this point though, and got a slap on the wrist. And at this point though, her parents sent her away to sort of a private girls' academy where she both lived and learned. She continued with a rebellious streak in school but excelled in the technical areas. But she would sneak out at night for no other reason than to test the school security. Unfortunately, on one evening, Agatha was mugged, stabbed, and left to die. This was not the end for Agatha, however, as the reverend agents of the observance had already been watching her in preparation to recruit her into their ranks. So her cube was put into an L host, allowing her a second chance at life. She finished out her school years, and with a new sense of purpose, with a second chance, she promptly joined the observance as a reverend custodier as soon as she could. We already went over her relationship with Sid, and then in relationship with, I apologize, Jane, your character's name?
Momoko.
So Harry's character, Cassian, and Agatha, we had our parents had some secretive business together, which again, Agatha was not privy to, but at some point, all four parents disappeared on the same night, and we became friends and want to find out what happened to our parents.
Oh, cool. And Harry.
Yes. So Cassian's parents were, middle-class corporate with some illegal stuff on the side. But when they went missing, he ended up on the street and thus turned to a life of crime. He fancied himself in young adulthood to be a bit of a pirate, a bit of a scoundrel, so he tried his hand at being a pirate. He was not a good pirate and ended up getting arrested. After serving his time, he wound up being a medic for a little while, like a paramedic.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, turned to bounty hunting, deciding that he needed some excitement in his life after all. As for character relations, as has already been mentioned, I have beef with Pinky, or Pinky's family. Agatha's parents worked with mine, and John screwed up on a mission and got me shot, so...
Ooh.
Yeah. Got a little bit of beef there. Don't fully trust him.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's all our characters. Anything else to add? Anything extra that... Any questions? Anything? No? All right, cool. So, we'll begin. The dropship descends through the atmosphere past the clouds, and immediately the rapping sound of rainfall cascades across the ship's cabin. The rain, well, it will either be a blessing or a curse. No one is quite sure yet. Time will only tell once you hit planet side. Your handler, Mark Twain. Yes, that Mark Twain. No one is quite sure how an Elif recreation of a 19th century American writer and humorist became an O12 Bureau Noir handler, but it was probably not for the best to ask. His initial words echo in your brain holes like a chorus of impending doom. Now, I need y'all to head down to Paradiso on the edge of the third front. That's right, the one with not so much of the aliens booming about, blowing everything to Kingdom Come. The mission profile has you investigating a crash site just outside of Al-Hadi, which is along the edge of the more recent front created by the Combined Army. Whether the crash site has anything to do with the involved intelligence is unknown, but the fact that O12 is sending agents to the edge of a war zone means that this crash site isn't exactly routine. Questions about the mission were met with some of the same answer from Handler Twain. Get in there, investigate the site, and scuttle the damn thing before that damn brain computer potentially turns it into a weapon that ends all humanity. The Emerald Hell looms below. The vast jungles and tree lines that first formed the battlefield for border rights now depict the struggle of humanity as a starfaring race. In the distance, the blown-out skyscrapers and defense turrets of the various Combined Army encampments loom like little death pods waiting to leap out and bite the shuttle out of the sky. They probably already detected your lone craft settling into the middle of nowhere. So yeah, you're descending into the jungles of Paradiso along what's called the Third Front, which is where the Combined Army was stopped in their last insurrection, trying to take over the planet. And you're investigating downed craft that is just on the edge of the jungles along a cliff rock overlooking probably a river or something like that. So is there anything that anybody wants to do as the ship is slowly descending under the cover of radar?
Would be looking out a window be too obvious?
I mean, that's something that you could do, yeah.
Then yes. I'm gonna look out the window.
What you see is pretty much what I described before, which is Paradisio's called the Emerald Hell sometimes just because it is a big green jungle. It's very lush, but it was one of the first sites of the various factions going to war over resources and things like that. It also was one of the first places that discovered alien artifacts. And then it's also the first place that the combined army attacked and started to take over. So it has a long history of just kind of being a miserable place in some respects. So where you're descending is basically thick in the jungle, kind of in an open area in the jungle itself, where there's a small clearing that overlooks like it's on a cliffside. There's a river below. The shuttle's just sort of on the edge. And yeah, if you want, you can like give a perception check or something like that. Any sort of an observation if you want to roll it and see what happens.
Okay. Hopefully I have my stuff good.
Two successes.
Woo!
All right, cool. Just what you needed, because it is hard to see through the rain, and it is hard to see kind of what's going on there. The first thing you notice is it's not necessarily a crash site like you would expect. You do see that there is a lot of damage to the ship itself. But it looks almost, there's no like tree line that was blown out. There's none of like the obvious that this is a crash. It just looks like it sort of got here and landed incorrectly in a small space. So that seems kind of weird. That stands out to you right now.
Suspicious.
So we'll go down the line. Jane, is there anything that Momoko is doing?
Yeah, Momoko carries around some sort of tablet, so she'd probably be downloading information about the what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with an E, not environment, but it is relating to ecosystem. The ecosystem, the flora, the fauna, along with the water and what kind of hazards can be noted in these, and also what kind of plants can be used as backup on-the-spot medicine.
Okay. Give me a tech roll.
Okay. Tech, there we go. I do that right?
Looks like tech's got a problem.
Oh.
Yeah, just click the word tech. It should roll.
Alright. Okay, there we go.
There you go. One success. Cool. All right. So, you're able to there's nothing unusual about the area that you're in. It's actually been surveyed at least once before, as it's close to some settlements, and it also is close to the front, so that would have been observed. So there's nothing unusual. You know that the wildlife probably would stay away from anything that's smoking or smoldering, which this crash site seems to be doing. So yeah, you you get a sense that everything's going to be okay if you get out of the ship. You're not going to get attacked by any crazy wild animals, but you also currently don't detect any enemy forces in the area, but you're not sure if your readings are correct on that exactly. Also, so audience can give bonus dice, which would be momentum dice for you guys. Moko gets a momentum from Kimchi, who gave it to you in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. JT, anything that Agatha does?
Yeah, so Agatha's actually going to be texting Cassian, sort of warning Cassian or discussing the potential that Sid is some kind of double agent or just sort of a level of concern to watch out for what Sid's doing. She's kind of jumpy. She has good trigger discipline, but she's definitely got her boarding check on ready to go in case something happens. She's eyeing Sid. She's trying to make sure that she's acting professional as an O12 agent. However, the concern over the elf stuff is top of her mind right now.
Okay. Go ahead and take a free momentum since you're sort of preparing, and that'll give you an edge the first time you have to take an action. Harry, what is Cassian doing?
Cassian is checking his weapons, making sure his armor's on tightly. As far as he knows, we're dropping in on the edge of a war zone, so, well, playtime's over. Like, he's ready to fight.
Okay, cool. You can also have a momentum dice to use at your first action. Cool. So the ship lands a fair distance away. Your drop ship, I should say, it lands a fair distance away from the crash site, and you have kind of open ground, not open ground. It's very dense foliage, like just those big plants with like big leaves kind of separate you in the crash site. It's just hard to see. If you were looking back this way, I guess you could say, it would be hard to see anything that might be coming through, as it would have pretty good cover. So you know that once you're in the crash site, you're gonna have to be highly observant if something were coming at you towards the crash site.
All right. Everybody ready?
Let's do this.
Let's go.
All right, cool. So you get out. There's that low hum of like the shuttle engines. It powers down mostly to the point of silence. There's just like the low hum of the engine and that sort of like idling thruster sounds. And yeah. Do you guys cross over to the crash site? What do you do now that you're out?
I'm gonna scan just with my eyes the tree line. Be careful to look for any movement, listen for anything, see if I smell anything odd.
Okay.
Gunpowder, maybe.
Give me an observation check.
Absolutely.
1 success. All right.
Okay, and for my first roll, I get a momentum dice. What do I roll for that?
You could hit the delayed roll. You see momentum aid. You should be able to hit that first delayed roll.
Momentum aid. That's first page, second page.
No. In the roller chat.
Oh, I see it. Yep. There we go. So there.
Oh, another success. Wow. Cool. You get that cliche feeling of it's quiet, almost too quiet sort of feeling. You're on edge. Like you're prepared. You're overly prepared at this point. Like
yeah, safety's off. Like
you're just expecting danger. Yes, exactly. Safety's off. Cool. What do you do otherwise? Are you crossing towards the crash site?
I'm gonna start weapon up, crossing towards the to the crash site.
All right, cool. You get in there close, and we'll get with everybody else first before we do anything. JT, what does Agatha do?
Agatha is gonna be just a couple steps behind Cassian, so sort of watching his back in case something happens. As they are friends, she feels most connected to making sure that he is safe, as apparently he is taking point.
All right, cool. Anything specific that you do? Any sort of action that you might want to take other than just crossing over?
Yeah, so this is a question for Lauren Mechanics. Is hacking something? Could I hack into the down shuttle's computer system wirelessly, or is that something that have to be physical?
We'll say you actually can hack remotely. There's a whole process for it. We'll go with the simplified version until we get more into it. But I will say that Agatha wouldn't be able to resist herself and has been trying to hack the shuttle since you were within sort of range of it. But you can't get to it, almost like there's blockers on it in a strange sort of way, which seems weird. You feel like the systems wouldn't be blocked in a sense. But yeah, you realize that, you're probably gonna have to hardwire this thing and get close.
Okay.
So we'll say that you make your way across as well. Jane, what does Momoko do?
This is the first time Momoko's been outside of the lab in maybe half a year, and it's to an active battle site. So she's just keeping watch, readying her medical equipment if it comes to that. But she's hoping to high heavens that it doesn't.
All right. Do you cross over to the ship or do you hang back? What do you do?
She'll cross over to the ship, even though she doesn't like Cassian. She knows he can use a gun.
All right, cool. I will say you guys have all kind of been on a mission or two before this, so to speak. So nobody has double-crossed anybody since the original stuff. So you have that sort of gelling of the group so far. But otherwise, yeah, your apprehensions are probably warranted considering you were blinded at one point. Cool. Tiffany, what does Sid do?
It's just kind of surveying everything, being kind of just it's got that smelly smell that smells smelly. Yeah, it's just not right. So I'd like to make another observation check. I know Cassian did one, but Sid's
Okay.
just even though she's not active in the mercenary thing, she grew up in it. So those instincts are really hard to kick.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. 2 successes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. You again, like Cassian, know that this is quiet, almost too quiet sort of situation. You know it's only a matter of time before somebody comes upon you. It's just that sort of situation. So you're fully aware of the situation that you're in, and I imagine you would cross over to the ship.
Yes, but I'd like to be as quiet or sneaky as possible while crossing over, kind of blending into the background if possible.
Full stealth.
Yeah. Do well.
You think you're hidden enough, so you
Hidden
cover over to
enough.
the ship, and you take a position. There's blown out sections of the ship. There's pieces where it looks like it was torn away. You're not sure how it landed in the way that it did with the wreckage that it's in. Again, it's a really weird state of ship. This thing crashed, but it almost was laid down in a crashing motion, sort of weird. It's weird. You're not sure if the pieces that are missing of it were blown out, torn out, didn't survive re-entry. You're not sure. Nobody's really taken a look at that. But you cross over and you settle behind a bulkhead or something like that, or in some of the leaves, and you're poised. Cool. So you guys are all at this ship. Just off the top of your heads, you're all like, I've never seen the ship. Looks old. I've never seen this design before. It's very unusual.
All right. Someone get us through this door without blasting, or
There actually are holes in the side that you could easily cross over. So,
do these look like? Are these just like holes, like part of the ship, or are they blasted in?
you don't know. You'd have to roll for that.
Okay, I would roll observation.
Or let's go with you know what? Somebody roll a science roll.
Oh.
Roll that, Doc. I'm not.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, could I instead roll an education to see if any of my years of studying could inform me about the make, the model, and layout of the ship?
Yes.
Did I roll that right? Okay.
Yeah, it eventually hit education. So 2 successes.
Yay.
Throughout your sort of history, lifespan in education, this is definitely an old ship, but you can't get a grasp on the make or mod. It seems almost otherworldly to you. Like, this is not in any registry. Even if you sort of do like a sort of analysis of the shape and design of it, it doesn't match anything in any library. It doesn't match anything in any index. This is as foreign can get when it comes to design and make. Like, you don't get anything. It's absolutely I wouldn't say alien, because it's definitely not of that nature, because it looks human made. But as far as traces of what this thing is, you have no idea.
Oh, shucks. Can I still roll that science roll then?
Yeah, if you want to.
Would I be able to support with the tech roll?
Yeah, if you wanted to.
There we go.
Cool.
I hit the right tab, correct? I'm using my iPad. There. Okay.
Yeah, I think you got it.
I got 2 successes on tech.
Cool. So Momoko and Sid sort of both huddle down in her stealth area, and you're looking at it and you're kind of going over things, and crap, what was I gonna say? The owl, you look at it, and yes, there looks like the holes in it, like it was torn apart, almost blasted out from the inside. There are some score marks to show that it did go through some battles and some fights, but those seem much older than the actual parts of it that look like it was like blown out completely, or sections of it below. All the holes and structural damage seems like it came from the inside.
Huh.
Whatever was in here was very angry and desperately wanted to get out.
You think it was something, or an explosion?
We won't find out more information unless if we go in. Perhaps
All right.
there will be further clues.
Between all of their sciencing, it doesn't look like it was necessarily an explosion, because there's no score marks or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Scorches.
Agatha, you've got the breaching shotgun. You want to take point? I'll cover you.
I'll take point. Let's do this.
All right. Let's move.
So as you move in, the ship itself is very open, let's say. There's the whole back section of it appears to be like a combination cargo, sort of living quarters type area. it's almost like it was partitioned off, not necessarily like built off. So like the ship has one big sort of hull space, and it almost looks like some makeshift, not even makeshift, just it looks like the inside of it was modularized to the point where like the cargo bay had different modules installed, and you think there's what used to be like an old workout sort of hollow station. There's definitely like some weird science station, and there's several cargo holds. One of them is filled with this big sort of it's a metal container, almost vault-like thing. It's very smooth, but it's like a six-sided die. If the sixth side was missing, like it looks like just seamlessly that side was removed, almost like it was dissolved away, and it almost seems like it was on purpose.
Agatha's gonna make sure that the weapon flashlight, weapon mounted light on her shotgun, and she's going to walk closely towards the large six-sided missing dice thing and try to sort of peek around the corner in a way that she's still kind of covered by one of the sides.
You're able to glance in, and there's nothing in there. The inside of it is smooth. It's actually standing in a spot that looks kind of damaged. The ship itself around it is damaged. It is not, in ways that you're like, this thing should have been damaged by whatever happened in here, whatever that was, because it's sort of centered around this area. But the vault cargo hold itself is like completely undamaged, almost like it's fairly indestructible.
Is this something that that would be a common item that we'd know about, or can I roll an education to see if I would have any idea what this is?
You can roll if you want. I'll never tell you not to roll.
Okay.
One success. The best you get out of it is, again, you get that foreign feeling, but it still feels man-made. But you're sort of like running your hand over the materials and everything, and it's just like this feels weird. This feels like a metal that I haven't touched before. Like it has a strange, smooth, almost glossy surface where you're like, metal doesn't do that necessarily. Were you trying to roll a hacking, Momoko? No. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to zoom in on my screen and I
that's fine.
accidentally rolled.
Cool. Harry, what's Cassian doing right now?
So mainly I'm providing cover, just watching any doors, any entryways that could, potential threat could come through. But once it's clear that this area is relatively safe, I'm going to start looking over the stuff as well.
Okay. What kind of roll you want to make?
I just maybe an observation roll or investigation or something like that.
Yeah, observation.
Yeah.
2 successes. So you're kind of glancing around, and you kind of do a once over of the ship, and you can definitely see the bridge from here. You're looking. You can see kind of the wide open areas of the hull of the cargo hold. You definitely pick out spots where you're like, oh, I could use that for cover. I could use that for cover. That type of situation. As you move through the ship a little bit to sort of like case it out, there's no signs of life. There's no signs of growth in here. You're not sure how long the ship's been crashed, just that it is crashed. That if it was here for a while, you would expect like kind of the vegetation to take it over, but even that seems to sort of like almost shy away from it in a way. Yeah.
This stuff is bizarre.
Yes, it's very weird.
Yeah.
Sid, anything specifically else that you want to do?
Is it possible that I could run like an analysis on like maybe like I know that Momoko and I were able to figure out that something came out of the ship,
Yes.
but is there any way I'd be able to do like an analysis like on something to see if I can pick up like a fiber or like skin
No-
cells, something?
Nothing that anything that you've done so far is you've sort of like tapped out that observational resource of like something weird happened here, something got out of here, something
Okay.
exploded the ship from the inside. But yeah, you'd probably have to like hack into the systems of the ship itself to sort of try to figure out any sort of analysis further.
Okay. Yeah, I wanna. Well, you know what? What the heck? I'll just try to. I'll probably fail, but I'm gonna do like a hack or should I roll tech? Which one would be?
Whichever you're better. But Agatha's looking at you like you're what? I'm the hacker. Like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to be supportive of my best friend. Like I just want you to love me.
Friend is that's a strong word.
I was just about to say, friend's a strong word, right?
I just want to be your bestest acquaintance ever.
So try to impress Agatha by like doing a hack roll. Let's see what happens.
I got one success.
I
I didn't fail.
No, but you turn around and you're like, we need a password. It looks like, maybe, possibly. The one thing that you do sort of gain from what little hacking limited knowledge you do know, you kind of look over at Agatha and explain like it looks like it's encrypted, maybe? Not sure.
So Agatha's just gonna kind of roll her eyes and be like, "Let me do this."
Okay.
Okay, bestest acquaintance ever.
2 successes. Cool. You get into it and you start hacking at the systems and you realize, oh yeah, weird. It's not like there's blockers or firewalls or anything like that. It's like the whole ship was encrypted in some way. Like just the data is in weird states. It's going to take you some time to sort of get through this as you're starting to understand sort of the algorithm of it all, but not quite yet broken through it.
Hey, all. This is gonna take some time. If someone that isn't Sid wants to hang about, explore the rest, and the rest of you explore the ship while I work on this.
So who's going to hang out with Agatha and who's going to explore the rest of the ship?
I wanted to go look for bodies.
Okay.
I'll
I'll
cover
go
the
with
doctor.
you. Oh, never mind.
I guess I'm guarding Agatha then. Well, we should have someone with a gun. Are you armed?
Everyone should be armed.
I don't
I'm
have
armed. Oh no, what did I just do?
Weapons
armed.
never came up in my character creation, so I'm just like a naked baby in the woods.
None of your equipment was a weapon of any sort?
Nope, I just got a sensor
Neither was
suit
mine.
and let's see, a sensor suit and some sort of analytical kit.
You would have a payday though, so you could like take at least a simple sidearm with you. They wouldn't have sent you out here without arming you in some way.
I don't know how to fire a gun though.
That's fine. A lot of people don't, and they still do some damage. So
I have a powered multi-tool.
that's a tool. Not quite a weapon of sorts, but okay, cool.
I mean, a wrench is a tool too, but
It could be.
yeah.
Cassian, as much as I dislike you, I feel safer with you by my side. Especially since I don't know what could be on this ship, but
Fair enough.
if it's anything more dangerous than you, then
Guess I'm
Well,
stuck
if it's
with
anything
you,
more
best
dangerous than
acquaintance
me,
ever.
then we're all fucked. So
Cool. So Agatha, you're stuck with Sid. Good times. And Harry, Cassian, and Momoko are going to go explore the rest of the ship. So we'll deal with Sid and Agatha first. What are you two doing at the moment?
Sorry, you said Agatha and Sid.
Yeah, Agatha's.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I don't know if is there something like an extended test in this where I'm going to continue to hack into this.
Yeah, you can
Try to
continue to hack. You might want to spend a point. I don't think you have any extra momentum at the moment.
I think you actually did give me a momentum.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I did. So you can go ahead and roll it, and then roll a third d20.
It did not go in. Let's see. Hacking. Click. I'm clicking on it.
I saw it blip. I wonder if it's got an issue. You got an external roller or local dice?
Over there. Can I roll in chat?
Yeah, you can roll in chat.
So, what am I rolling?
3d20.
It's not coming up.
Okay, cool. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Nope. There it goes.
There goes 36.
7, 17, and 12. Are those within your ranges?
Hacking, I don't know what that means. I apologize. I have my EXP is 4,
Okay.
my FOC is 1, and it's a signature.
So it's 4, so it's okay. So the 7 and I think the 12. So you got 2 successes. Cool. So again, you're sort of like getting through it, and you realize it's not so much encryption at this point as it is almost like the remnants of an AI, for lack of a better term, that's sort of it's like the data and the systems of the ship are doing some weird AI things that are sort of emulating encryption and stopping just direct access to the system, but you're actually sort of getting through it almost as if you're talking to the AI in a way through computer code, and you're starting to get access to the data itself inside the ship. So you're making progress. Sid, anything that you want to do?
Sid is looking around at some of the other stuff, kind of like poking around at it, trying not to make too much noise, because if she so much breathes a little too loud, she can kind of like feel Agatha glaring at her.
Okay.
So she just kind of like quietly tries to like dig through the stuff and not irritate Agatha too much.
Okay. You find like old bits and bobs, recognizable tools and like clothing, just sort of like a few crates full of just rotten goods, and just it looks like whatever perishables were in the crates have definitely perished. So you know that, like rations take forever to sort of rot and go bad, and these actually have. Yeah, you don't find anything of interest, but you do sort of get a sense of what was going on in this ship, and it looks like there's enough for you to discern that there was like maybe 6 or 8 crew to this thing. You find some clothing for like a very large individual. You find some clothing for some very average looking individuals, and you find some clothing for like a very small individual. You find lots of tools in one area. You find like a big old wrench hanging on a wall, which it's almost like weapon size. But other than that, you just sort of get a sense that, yeah, this thing was lived in. Yeah, these people lived in the ship. They kind of love this ship. You can see a lot of like personal touches to some of the living areas, but yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna grab that wrench off the wall.
Okay. It's big. It's like one of those like you see in like anime, or like if somebody's working on a massive starship. It's just one of those big like massive two-handed wrenches that's just is almost the size of a person sort of thing. It's big. It's ridiculously big. You're like, how is this even a tool?
So I'm definitely gonna grab the wrench and kind of like do some pretend swings.
Okay.
And swing it a little too hard and kind of spin around and like fall down and like hit the ground very loud just to gain a "What are you doing?" from Agatha.
Agatha, Sid's over there doing silly stuff.
Again, roll my eyes. Are you all right?
Yeah. I knew
Alright.
you cared.
Didn't say that. I did not say that. Let me know if you find anything of use. I'm gonna continue to work through this encryption.
I found a wrench. Could you use that for whatever you're doing?
No, I could not.
Okay.
All right.
I will keep looking.
Cassian and Momoko, you've moved your way up to the bridge area.
All right. What does it look like in here?
You get a vague view area. There's a very large like window. There's definitely what you can tell is like a captain station, and other sort of like flight stations and gunnery stations. It's sort of like a big open bridge, almost Star Trek-y. And it itself, compared to the rest, doesn't seem to have been affected all that much by whatever went on in the hull, or back in the hold. So yeah, you're looking at sort of not pristine, but not as damaged part of the ship. All of the consoles have like a low sort of glow to them, but they're all of them, like all the other screens that you've seen in the ship, all have that like a lock screen on it, for lack of a better term. But you can see and you can hear Agatha sort of on the other side, like, I got it, sort of getting through the encryption in the system. And by doing that, you can definitely tell like the lock screen is changing a little bit the more that Agatha makes progress in their hacking. So that you notice. The rest of it, you'd have to sort of like specifically look around and tell me what you're looking for.
Thank you. I have two things in mind. One, any corpses. Two, a captain's log. I also want to visit the med bay if that's possible, to look at the logs there.
Okay. So bodies. That's been a strange thing to you so far. There are no bodies, and you would expect bodies in a crash site. There's actually no sign of like blood, of tissue, anything. You see the remnants of someone being here, all of the clothing and everything that Sid was finding, which you've noticed as well. But you're looking around, you're like, there's no bodies to operate on. Like, what's the deal? There's just nothing there. You don't see any biological life at all, really.
Hmm.
And we need to start moving outside of the ship. Clearly, whatever's here isn't on board, so we need to track it.
We need to check the logs. They could have some information in them, along with the medbay. We don't know what happened here. We don't know what they were carrying. We need more information.
All right. I guess I'll cover you while you get that.
Cassian, that does kind of strike you as weird too. Like, you glanced as you were coming up, and you may have even done sort of a perimeter search of the ship. It, like I said, it looks like it almost settled here rather than crashed here, which again is odd. And there's just something funny about the way that this ship exists. Like it's foreign to you. It doesn't match any current build or any old build that's in any log or anything like that. And yeah, so you sort of take up post. Well, Momoko will say you go to like the captain's station, and you can. Agatha's got enough at this point to give you like a basic operating system. So Agatha, actually give me one more hacking roll, and let's see what you get.
I'll try clicking on it again. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, maybe there you go. Astral. Cool. One success. You've done enough work now where you've sort of like pushed the weird AI encryption aside, and you've sort of built your own operating system within the living code itself. So you're able to access the data and get the ship and interface, which then propagates out to all the different stations. So the stations now function in a way that they were meant to, but with Agatha's own sort of design and interface for it. So the ship's more or less back online, which sort of puzzles you a bit more, because you realize, oh yeah, there's no engines. Those were blown out apparently. And a power source can't be located. So it's almost like the ship is alive in a way that's feeding off its own energy. So that's weird.
Very disconcerting.
Now that the encryption's broken and I'm into it, do we have access to the captain's log as Momoko wanted?
If Momoko wants to do like a tech roll or a science roll,
let's see. I think
what feels most appropriate.
Both are equal for me, so I guess this is technically tech. So.
Okay. One success.
Woo.
Yeah, you do get some captain's log, and it's talking about the captain seems very boisterous and flourishing in their speech, in the way that they're recorded. They're talking about they have something on board that they need to break into. There's a hacker at some place that knows how to break into it. They have to break in to get the hacker out. But then it's almost like events stopped and they didn't have time to record their captain's log. But you do get sort of, you think you have access to what are video feeds from around the ship, but it's really scrambled. So you'd have to work at it a little bit to see if you can compile it correctly.
Can I also access the medical records from here?
Yes. You do find a medical station, or what appears to be a medical station, a little bit back towards the hold. And you get some repairs, or you get some logs of something that identifies itself as an android, which is weird to use the word android because that's not a common term. It would be like L-host or something like that. They remark about healing up a lizard creature of some sort, in like some sort of like other animalistic alien-like creature, which is weird because those aren't things that exist in your world. And and then and then there's other logs of like healing up after battles and things like that. It seems like this was sort of a rough and tumble sort of crew that just got into scrapes and skirmishes and were doing something big like a heist. But then sort of like the results of that, you don't find any evidence of sort of their demise or their end currently.
Momoko will go and report her findings back to everyone else.
Okay. You point out to Agatha that there seems to be some sort of video log that is currently scrambled. And then the notation that there's no life anywhere also seems weird. This is starting to unsettle you a lot, Cassian, because like things are just weird. Like you expected bodies, you expected sort of a normal crash, you expected some sort of like maybe it was a diplomatic thing and you just had to recover some like secure data or something like that, but this all seems very mysterious.
Yeah. I'm weirded the fuck out by this, and the sooner we can get out of here the better, but whatever was in here has probably left, so sooner we can regroup and move out the better.
Cool. Agatha, you're handed over or at least the scrambled video logs are pointed out to you by Momoko.
Cassian wants to get out of here. Can I copy that onto like my personal computer and then try to figure it out later as we get out of here?
You feel like if you insert anything into this ship, it will immediately become infected by whatever this AI encryption is going on. Like you feel like you would take something out of here that really should not be let out into the world.
Okay, then would it be a hacking roll or a tech roll to try to like decode the video?
Whichever you think is going to be better for you.
Well, hacking's way better for me, so.
Okay.
Let's see.
3 successes. You got, because you were hacking and that's probably the better way to do things, you got 2 extra momentum. Did you want to spend this now or did you want to bank it for later?
Yeah, let's spend it now.
Okay, so you're going to spend it all?
Sure am. We need to see what happened here.
Okay, so you get a crystal clear picture and you are actually able to sort of get like, you do the whole thing where you're doing an iPhone video of an iPhone sort of thing, where you're basically recording what's on screen, and you get it to such resolution that it's very clear as you're recording it. So you get good data from this thing, and you have kind of good evidence of what goes on. You see a whole crew like what Momoko found with like, there does seem to be like a big lizard sort of creature as part of the crew. There looks like a little small mouse type creature of the crew. There's a couple of like, there's a cat. It looks like it's bossing people around. Very strange. And so, yeah, you are watching what's happening, and you sort of get in a sort of shortened version of their exploits, and it just seems to be sort of just before whatever happened that caused this ship to crash in the way that it did. What you see is they're all sort of gathered around that vault cargo hold. Again, it's like about as tall as a person, wide as a person. It's very symmetrical. It's just sitting sort of attached and bound to the cargo hold that it's in. They're all looking at it. They are doing something in another workstation. There's a dude who it looks like they get a cube and put into an L host, which is weird because you can't do that as quickly as they're doing it. They drop him in. He is sort of manipulating something. He goes up to this cube, which has a little sort of keypad on it. Types something in, and the door of it dissolves completely out of thin air. And inside the cube is a bright flash of light that you're not sure what happens after that because the light stays for a very long time, but it then dissolves, and what is left is a single individual who you're not quite able to make out who or what they are, but the crew itself has disappeared, and they're sort of looking around almost investigatively, and that's when like the white light again happens again, and that's when you can see the ship explodes from the inside, and then the video feed shows nothing but the hull and the hold. The individual's gone, and then the ship settles into where it's at, but before you actually see it crash or anything, the feed sort of scrambles and disappears.
Huh.
I am now, for once, in agreement with Cassian that perhaps we should leave.
That's when you guys hear something on the outside. Like, the wind had been blowing and rustling the bushes, but now the bushes are rustling in a very strange, odd way, a precarious way.
I'm gonna immediately just gesture with my hand for everyone to get down.
Cool. And I think that's where we'll take a quick break and come back to whatever this is. So about 10 minutes. So 10:32, we'll be back.
Okay.
Hey there, Snicker Snacks. We're back, and something funky is happening outside, and it's not Funky Thunder. Cool. So yeah, everyone hears that whole sense of it's quiet, almost too quiet, has you on edge. You immediately sense something outside, and gives you the chance to reaction. So, what do you guys do as you feel something's weird outside?
These holes, I'm gonna try to set up some kind of firing position in one of the holes.
You can definitely do that.
And I'll, if we have like a little radio or something, I'll just say like, if any of you set up at the other holes, we can make overlapping fields of fire and basically negate any cover they could use coming across the field.
You all definitely have comms, so you're able to communicate yourself.
Agatha's gonna do similar thing at a different hole.
Okay, cool.
Same thing. Take a position at another hole.
So you all have basic cover at this point, which it'll take some soak damage or so, but if you get under too much heavy fire, that cover will definitely ablate, and you'll have to find other cover. So, cool. I'm just looking for something here real quick. Okay, cool. Let me look something up real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, cool. So, you can definitely see that there's something moving out in the something moving out in the shrubs. You guys, as far as initiative is concerned, you're able to act first, and you choose who amongst you goes first within that order, and then your enemies go after you. So, yeah. What do you guys do?
Do I see people?
You see movement in the brush. You don't actually see what you're shooting at just yet.
Well, then I'm not going to shoot anything till I can see it.
Okay. All right. So you're not doing anything. Who wants to go next?
Sure. I'm gonna reach out, sort of with the hacking thing, and see if there's anything that I can hack out at range.
Okay.
In the movement.
Give me a hacking roll real quick. 2 successes. Yes, there are 4 entities out there. You're not exactly sure what they are, but they're alien in nature. So the combined army has found you.
Uh-oh. And I'm going to relay that message to everyone.
Well, that's just rude.
Everybody's quite aware of what's going on now. Yeah, good job.
No.
Momoko and Sid, which of you wants to act next?
Sid can,
She might
yeah,
guess.
Momoko can go
ahead.
first.
Okay.
No, it's okay. No. From one science person to another. You go ahead.
No, I'm here for if someone gets shot. I'm not here to do the shooting.
Look, my dad really wanted me to learn how to use these guns, and I just said no out of protest.
All right. Okay. Momoko's just gonna try shooting. In a very
Suppressing fire.
panicked state.
All right, cool. Roll your ballistics. You'll actually, because you're not sure what you're shooting at, you'll actually need 2 successes to hit.
Oh no.
And Moko takes aim, fires out in the open, and you just see it scorch and like some bushes like move from the wake of the blast. not, I mean, you hit air. That's something.
Okay.
Yeah, Momoko will look at Sid just like, what did you expect from me?
Sid, what you got?
Okay, Sid's gonna try to shoot something?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Should I also roll ballistics first, or?
No, yours actually will work on your sheet, so if you just roll your weapon, it should be self-contained.
Okay. Boop.
1 success. You fire, but because they're in the brush and it's difficult to see where you're supposed to be aiming, you miss, but you do actually hit just close enough where you actually see one move and they pop out of the bush, and you would have a clear shot next time. It appears to be a chuck.
I attacked a harmless tree, didn't I?
No, you attacked the harmless bush, and then there was something not so harmless hiding in the bush. So it moves to like it jumps out of the brush and exposes itself because you nearly hit it. And they're what would be called chuxas. They are like low-level troopers for the combined army. They're looking to prove themselves. They're kind of zealot soldiers because the combined army has basically told them, we're going to make you better, and why wouldn't they fight for something that's going to make them better? So yeah, it is their turn. That one that has exposed itself is going to come rushing up and take cover close by, because it couldn't cover the whole distance to attack you, but it's actually like kind of behind cover now, and you're pretty sure it's got like a melee weapon that it's drawn out. Another one comes up and takes cover behind one of the bulkheads as well, as they're trying to close in with melee. And then the 2 guys, there's 2 more out in the field that you can tell because the brush is sort of moving in 2 distinct areas, but they got they're between you and your dropship. So one fires and misses. The other one fires and we'll say shoots at Agatha. Oh no, I couldn't say that. Shoots at Agatha, and the cover that you're behind actually takes damage and actually soaks up all the damage it would do. But you figure, you look at it, you're like, well, that's only got one more shot before it's toast. So yeah. Back to you guys. Who goes first?
If no one will claim it, I'll step up. So the situation is we have 1 out of cover and 3 more that have started.
You've got 1 out of cover, and you definitely saw where he is, and you have a very good position on where he is. The other one was still in cover and sort of moved through cover to where he's at. You have a general idea where he is, so it's not going to be as easy to shoot him. And then you got 2 that you're pretty sure are out still in the jungle brush. It's still going to be hard to hit them because they're in the brush.
Okay, well, let's flush them out. So I'm going to take one of my tear gas canisters.
Oh.
I'm going to pull the pin, and I'm going to lob it into the brush where they are, with hopes of driving them out of their cover.
Does that require a roll to do, or how's that work?
I am not sure. Let me look that up. It's just listed in my gear.
Okay. That'll take a little bit of time. So,
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go ahead next. Well,
yeah, I was gonna say, Agatha, what you do?
I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to flank, so sort of break cover and sort of run parallel to the sort of firing lines. Or apologies, not parallel, the other one.
Right.
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular. Excuse me. I'm trying to dash for cover in the woods or in the forest, jungle place.
Yeah. You dive out one of the holes that's sort of behind you, and you come up around. And did you want to fire on the guys still in the brush, or what did you want to do?
As I'm doing this, I would like to fire at the one in the open.
Okay. You actually, the one that you saw and exposed, you know where he's at, and you're able to come around and you can get around his cover, and you got a clear shot at him.
All right.
Yeah, so I looked up the grenades. It doesn't say if I have to roll to throw them, but I do have like a damage thing.
Okay.
It's non-lethal. It's 1 + 3N.
Oh, okay.
Just for the area of
2
effect.
successes. Wow. That's one more than you needed. Did you want to do extra damage with that?
How does that work?
So you typically only need 1 success to hit. If you get anything past that, you can apply damage or activate any attributes on your weapon. It's up to you. So
Extra damage then. For
extra
sure.
damage. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage. All right, 2. And you get that. Does your gun have like vicious or anything like that?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll find that out later.
Here, I have
Okay,
the-
cool.
Let's keep moving.
Yeah, this is sort of a beginner's combat anyway. So you get him, you come around, and like you just pop him with the shotgun, and he slumps down to the ground, and he bleeds like some weird alien goo out of his battle suit that he's in, and you're pretty sure you got him.
Good
shot. Sid or Momoko, what do you want to do?
Suppressing fire?
That is something that you can do.
Honestly, I legit just feel like Cyril from Archer. I'm not good for anything, but nothing.
You can't suppress them, and it makes it a little more difficult for them to hit you. So you just unload an entire clip out into the air, and that causes them to sort of hunker down. Momoko, what would you like to do?
Momoko's also going to join in the suppressive fire party.
Okay.
Can a pistol do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna let it do it
okay.
right now. So you guys just unload. You got suppressive fire. This actually causes the guys out in the brush to sort of like scatter a little bit, and you can definitely see where they're moving now as they're trying to gain like really quick positions and not get hit. So they're a bit easier to hit. Also, we'll say the tear gas hits them, and that sort of damages them, and they're not looking great at
It's
this point.
terrifying to smoke 1.
Yes,
Whatever that means. I don't know what that means.
It adds some. It makes them a little more difficult to hit.
Okay.
Makes you a little more difficult to hit, and kind of fucks them up a lot.
Mhm.
All right, cool. We'll say they're trying to get new cover, and they're trying to get out of the way. They kind of take pot shots at you, and they miss. The other one is actually going to come in and is actually going to dive in and try to hit one of you 3. Oh. Wow. Cassius, Sid, and Momoko. 1, 2, or 3?
1.
3.
So this one comes in with like this big old nasty alien knife and just drives it right into you, Sid.
Oh.
And you take like 3 damage.
Ooh.
My dad would be proud.
I guess I know what I'm doing next turn.
There you go. Back to the top of the round. Who goes first?
I'll go. I would like to try hacking and see if they have any kind of systems that I can shut down, either their armor, powered armor, or smart guns or something like that.
Yeah, give me a hacking roll. 2 successes. You're able to sense out one of the ones that was tear gassed. That one, you've now shut off their optics. They're completely blind for the next round. They literally have no idea what's going on. Cassie, Sid, or Momoko, what do you do?
Take the shot, Momoko.
Yeah, he's close to me, right? The guy who just stabbed Sid.
Yeah, he's very close. He's definitely within view.
Okay, I'll be able to shoot him with ease, hopefully.
Yes, you should be.
Here's
Here,
helping.
I'll grab him and hold him in place to help.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're definitely not good with handguns. You fumble and you're in the heat of the moment, like you've never been in this situation before, yet you're starting to freak out. And you actually end up hitting Sid.
Oh,
Sumimasen.
Roll your weapon. Let's see what kind of damage you do to Sid.
Oh god.
Only 1 damage. Only 1 damage. So you hit Sid. Sid takes another vigor point. And yeah, now you're
didn't
all
mean to do that.
No, it's fine. And now you're all in that situation of you've now all shot or injured each other in some form or fashion, and yeah, you all got grudges now.
The bonding
The bonding
moment.
continues.
Oh, Sumimasen, I'll heal you as soon as I can.
I only have 2 left.
Yes. So the way that it works is it's just like Conan. You lose that. Once you lose it all, it becomes a wound. And then you start over again, and then you take up to 5 wounds, I want to say, and then it starts over. Once you're at 5 wounds, you start to die. Cool. So, Sid, are you the only one left?
I have to go and Sid has to go, so
Okay. Which of the 2 you want to go first?
all yours, Sid. You've got a knife in you, so
Yeah, I have a knife. I would. Is there any way I could just like punch the person that's currently
You
stabbing?
could. It's not going to be. I mean, unless you're good at close combat.
I am not, but like,
You
I
might want
wanna
to shoot them
anyway.
in the face.
huh? Yes.
It's up
Can
to
I?
you.
I just want to directly shoot them in the face.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, please don't miss.
ooh.
I am traumatized having been shot.
Do you want to take a heat?
Yeah, you know what? Yes.
All right, we'll say you get 1 success. Roll that damage. 5 damage. So this guy has stabbed you, and has fucked you up pretty good. But you just sort of like grab onto their shoulder and put the gun right in their face, and you just blast through their face plate, and they slump to the ground right in front of you.
This is my knife now.
Good shit.
This is mine.
No, don't take the knife out. You're going to bleed more.
I don't care. You shot me.
Takes the knife out, bleeds to death.
Worth it.
Cool.
You have priority for medical assistance. Please wait. Mate kudasai.
Okay.
Mate kudasai.
I'll keep the knife in. But
All right.
once it's over, the knife is mine.
I will tell you about the
Keeping it.
knife here in a minute.
Okay.
Cassius, what you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm gonna Cassian. Yeah, I'm gonna drop one of these guys. One of the ones running across the field or trying to move from cover.
Okay. You got the one that's absolutely blind. 2 successes. Blown it out of the water there. Yeah.
Straight to
wow.
the dome.
Nice.
Did I roll damage?
Actually, that's roll damage.
Okay, is that no? That's my knife. Never mind. There we go.
Damage.
3 damage.
You just blast that guy from a distance. He's like sort of like got that I can't see look, and like he just takes it right in the face and drops to the ground. There's one left. that's trying to converge on you.
Guys are tenacious.
He takes the moment to duck back into the bush, and you're not quite sure where he's at the moment. Back to you guys. Who goes first?
I give medical attention to Sid.
There are special rules for that. We'll deal with those probably next time, but we'll just say that you stabilize Sid and they're back up to their full vigor of what it should be, and they're looking a lot better than they were. Cool. Good. Sid, Agatha, or is it Cassian?
Yes.
I think I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Cassian. Yeah. Which one of you goes next?
Sure. So Agatha, having seen everything else, and him, the combined guy going behind cover, she's gonna leave where Jenkins at and chase after him.
Okay, cool. Give me a quick observation check. One success. You're pretty sure you know where he's at, which is going to make this next shot easier for you.
Oof.
If you had rolled a success. Want to spend heat?
No.
Okay. All right. So you charge out. You blast into the bush. You were nowhere near where you thought he was. Cool. Who's left? Sid and Cassian?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which one of you?
Sid, do you have anything?
How many of the aliens are still standing?
One.
And how far away is the distance?
We have no idea.
No idea.
It's close in the sense of the game's version of close, which is within your moving distance, but you're not sure where they're at specifically.
Would I be able to use observation to determine where they're at?
You could try.
Okay.
3
3
successes.
successes.
You definitely know where they're at. So
Woohoo!
it's going to be a very easy roll for you.
Sweet. Okay. I let Cassian know the location.
Mm-hmm.
And then I attempt to go pew pew.
Do it. Don't have to tell me. Roll it. 1 success. That hits. What's damage?
Whoop.
3.
3.
Ooh.
Blam blam. You hear like that some of like bullets hitting into something, and then you just see the brush sort of like rustle and stumble, and then it lies still for a moment. Pretty sure you got him.
Dad would be so proud of me. Cool.
All right. Well done, people, but that was only 4 of them. I'm sure that now that there's been shooting, there'll be more on the way, so we need to get a move on.
Cassian, wait, before we evacuate, take one of them. I want to do an autopsy.
All right. Which one is the most intact? Because we have 2 that have like holes through their heads.
The one outside?
The one that Sid just killed is probably the least damaged in a way.
Okay, I'll go see if I can drag that one out.
All right.
Can I loot the rest of their bodies for ammo and stuff?
It's all not of your type of ammo or anything. It's all alien ammo. You could definitely take them back because the human sphere is always about being able to analyze and deconstruct alien weaponry and stuff. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with you taking that stuff, but you're more likely to turn it into the O12 rather than actually use it yourselves. Cool. What do you guys do?
I'm dragging that body.
You put the body in the drop ship. Anything else?
Is there any way to find, like, look for tracks or something of something that broke out of here?
No.
Shit.
You have a distinct feeling that whatever caused the internal damage to the ship and kind of exploded out of the ship, it did that in the air at some point.
Okay. Well, then tracking is going to prove practically impossible for now.
Yeah, not in this situation, no.
Our location is compromised. I recommend we leave now.
Yeah, any minute now they'll bring people who actually know how to fight, and then we'll be in trouble.
Also, I want to start on the autopsy of this being.
Right in the middle of the dropship.
Why not?
Don't we have a med bay on the dropship? Or
No, it's more just like a small shuttle. It's not exactly like, it's not like your typical spaceship where like med bay quarter.
Oh, okay. Do we have like a little wheelie table I could put the corpse on so that I can wheel it?
It's more like on the floor in the back. You'll be able to send it to where it needs to go so you can autopsy it later.
All right.
Somebody will put it on ice for you.
So Momoko's just making notes about the corpse then.
Real quick thing about your mission. Do you remember anything else that you're supposed to do with your mission?
So we were tasked with finding out what is going on with this and retrieving it.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Twain said something about this being, preventing complete annihilation.
Mm-hmm.
This is not over.
No.
Yeah,
not
definitely. Yeah, we're gonna need to find. Is there any way we can use flight logs to see when they entered the atmosphere and then find at what point in their flight, or when and where maybe they entered the atmosphere? Then find.
You have the data from the ship now.
Perfect.
You actually, there were some time codes and some other like atmospheric sort of information that Agatha was able to record personally. So you got that, and you can probably use some information back at base
Okay.
to sort of analyze that.
Yeah.
But
Agatha,
one last thing about your specific situation, do you remember? Anybody can answer that question if you can remember what the parameters of your mission were.
We are not very good O12 agents, apparently.
Very forgetful O12 agents.
Does
Yeah,
anyone have a good command roll? A good command skill?
Man.
I
I've
got
zero
8.
in that.
I'm not good at that.
Anybody can roll it. And
Got an 11.
That's not bad.
2 successes from Momoko. 1 success. And Cassian, what you got?
Oh, you want me to roll with my 8?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
roll
see.
it. See what happens.
Let's see.
One fumble.
Oh, I
Cassian's
forgot
just
what
like,
mission I'm on.
let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. Almost like he's scared to fight more aliens.
Yeah, a bit.
The rest of you are about to get in, and you feel like there's this lingering sense of like, man, I feel like we're forgetting something. And Momoko really wants to go and analyze that alien autopsy, but then she pauses for a moment, turns around like, oh yeah, we need to destroy the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Do
Anyone
any
got
of us
bombs?
have explosives?
You were giving enough equipment to dispose of the ship.
Can we throw the equipment at the ship?
Maybe not throw it at. We should probably put them throughout to ensure destruction.
Yeah, you're
Who
able
knows
to.
what this is made out of?
Yeah, you're able to. You have enough explosives, sort of like demolitions, to trash the ship, which you set up, and you take care of it. And as you're lifting off, you set off the detonator. The ship blows up and blows in pieces. Parts of it like fall off the cliff into the river below, and you dart off into space. As you can see, like there's more rustling in the jungle that was coming your way, and you blast off into space, off to like a capital ship or orbital base of sorts. And yeah, you made it out. You successfully completed your first mission.
Okay. I'm still worried about whatever got out of that thing. Oh boy. I get.
Yeah, that is something to be concerned about.
Yeah, I get the sense. I'll radio to Mark Twain if that's possible and say.
He immediately knows when you're clear and you're ready. He's like, "All right, return to me for debriefing."
Perfect. Yeah, ship's clear. Completely destroyed. We engaged 4 Combine soldiers. 4 KIA. No, 1 injury on our part. Well, 2 injuries on 1 person.
Well,
And
that's a hell of a report. Why don't you write it up to me? I'll read it, and then we'll get back on to the next stage, and we'll figure out the next stage of what you need to accomplish.
perfecto.
And yeah, so yeah, you guys completed your first mission, and I think that's a good stopping port, and that's where we'll end this awesome adventure for now, and we'll have to wait until next awesome time to see what happens with your analysis of what became of the ship. Cool. So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Alien autopsy.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the alien autopsy. That should be fun.
Okay.
Cool.
Woo!
So yeah, that was you guys' first session. How do you feel?
Good.
Great.
Cool.
I guess we know that Momoko's okay doing harm to things that are dead.
Well,
yeah.
not harm if it's dead.
Yeah.
That's true. Good job. Awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a very simplified version of combat and things. I just wanted you guys to sort of get a feel of the flow and everything. We'll start to add the more complex elements as we go along. So yeah, that was fun. I'm excited for this. So
Yeah, that was good.
Mhm.
Any other thoughts? Any other comments? Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Too many injuries for one person.
Yeah.
First session of an RPG,
Thanks, Momoko.
someone always accidentally shoots a teammate. That's what it seems like, at least.
I mean, that's just typical, sci-fi.
My cat's
Co-opting.
here.
We
You
just
guys
have
want to see her.
friendly fire just happens to be on. That's all.
Okay. My cat's trying to commit goblin crimes by knocking over my computer. Here's the filthy little criminal.
Ah, little bastard.
That's fair.
Cute little bastard.
Mhm.
JT, you've been quiet. You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun here. The only thing is I feel like I dumped everything I could into hacking, and then I didn't feel like I was as good at it. I just had not as good rolls as I expected I would have.
A lot of that'll come from sort of gaining momentum and just adding it to your rolls and things. I also did make it a little higher difficulties just to sort of extend it out for you and get some more rolls in there. So as we go along, you'll get in situations where one hack will get you sort of the next stage, and it won't feel so defeated. But yeah, cool. All right. Excellent. As always, you can find us on the social medias at Vorpal Tales. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Vorpal Tales. We have 2 other awesome adventures you can check out. Next Monday at Marone Recluse, we'll be leading a group of cyberpunks in the new Cyberpunk Red gaming system. On Fridays, it is Patty Shakes. He guides his rowdy group of adventurers through Onyx Path Publishing's Scarred Lands, which I hear is going awesomely. We also have 3 terrifying tales every week on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and now starting Saturday. So that'll be awesome. We're now 7 days a week, finally. The inevitable. Check out our calendar that pops up in our show reels and on our website at vorpaltales.com and on our Twitch channel. Also, check out the pull list. It's new on our website. Well, not new anymore. Friend of the show at Funky Thunder does his weekly review in no particular order of this week's latest comic releases. Please be sure to check out the shop links on our website and just go to DriveThruRPG or the Dungeon Masters Guild and find us there under Vorpal Tales as the author. We've created several great supplements to enhance your games. There are more in the pipe for all the games we play to make your tabletop experience more Vorpally. I have been Space Lord PJs. Check out my Doodle website at cartoon.ninja. Real quick, everyone, plug your pluggables. Let the viewers know what show they can catch you in next and any other cool online things that you do. Tiffany.
Hey, everybody. I'm Tiffany, also known as Pinky. You can find me at Twitter at PinkyPie88, and that's P-I, like the math thing, because math is cool, kids. Woo! You can see me next time on Friday on Scarred Lands with Patty Shakes. I'm going to be playing Tirhana, which is a manticora, which is essentially
Cat person.
lion lady with big muscles.
Nice.
Really beat the crap out of everybody in the first episode.
Cool,
It was awesome. Come check us out.
JT.
I am JT. You can find me all over the web as at Zensomancer. Don't have much. I'm not playing in any other games with Vorpal Tales yet. I'm excited about something that I will be doing with Vorpal Tales in March, which we'll save for then.
Cool. Exciting. Jane.
Hello. You can find my socials under the name The Confused Crow. I only really have a Twitter. I don't have an Instagram. I post art there, and I'll be joining the Saturday games at Vorpal Tales for the Kickbacker.
Backer kit.
Yes, the backer kit. So look forward to be there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Harry.
Yes, I am the host of a few podcasts, Saratoga by Night podcast being the one that people actually listen to. It's available on all podcast platforms. It's Vampire the Masquerade actual play. It's a lot of fun. It's set in Saratoga Valley. It's kind of crazy, but a lot of fun. It's on hiatus for now. It will be coming back in a few weeks. YouTube.com/Slubrycat for my YouTube. Find me on twitch.tv/TheOnyxPath every Thursday from 9:30 to 11:30. And then what else? I'm definitely Harry_Wyckoff on Twitter, and I do a bunch of other stuff. Also, I'm in the Saturday game too with Jane. Yeah. So
All
yeah.
right. And finally, the special dessert of our show. Everyone, vote for who is your favorite player tonight. Whomever you vote for will get a bonus momentum in the next session. So, Tiffany, you first. Who do you vote for?
I am going to vote for JT because I see great things in our character's future. Hey, can I help you? No. Hey, can you help me? Yeah, go over there. Okay.
Cool.
Well, I wasn't talking to you.
JT, who do you vote for?
I vote for Tiffany
Awesome.
because they got stabbed.
Awesome. Jane, who do you vote for?
I also put my vote in for Tiffany, and that's because she got the 2 out of the 4 kills.
Oh, that's right. And also got stabbed, right? Like that,
Yeah.
that's really what.
And I also accidentally shot her,
That's
sumimasen. For those who don't speak Japanese, it's the very formal way of apologizing.
It's the thing that when I went to Japan, I said more than anything else because I'm clumsy.
There you go. And Harry, who do you vote for?
Tiffany is definitely MVP. Most kills, most wounds, all that stuff. Although I gotta give my vote to Jane, because I feel like it's always a rite of passage in a campaign to have one person accidentally shoot another. At least it has been in every campaign I've been in. So for getting that out of the way and not making it me who shoots someone else by accident, I have to thank Jane, so I'll give her the point.
Awesome. Sounds great. All right. So each of you get a momentum for every vote that you got. Awesome being excellent to each other players. Well, Snickersnacks, you don't have to go home, but you can't keep playing this game tonight. Watch our Vorpal Tales crew next Wednesday night at 9 p.m., where we begin our new sci-fi Infinity adventure. And check out all our other shows on practically every night at 9 p.m., except for Friday when it's 10 p.m. So a little crazy in there. Remember to slap that like and subscribe, and for the love of the dice, game on.